Welcome back, y'all. I don't go to the movies too often. And I went last week. I was gonna do the Regal thing where you pay per month, but they changed it now. So now you pay either 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and then a year. And I'm like, dang. But I guess it's worth it because, it's part of my job to watch movies and then talk to y'all about it. But anyway, so we saw Backrooms. I went with my daughter. And psychological horror is really having a moment, has been having a moment actually, probably for the last almost decade, I'm gonna say. Um, I know when Get Out came out, that was in 2017, and then you had a bunch of like psychological thrillers slash horror really come to the forefront since then. So Backrooms definitely goes into that psychological horror. It's one of those movies where when it's over with, you're talking to whoever you saw with, or you're online and you're like, okay, so this meant this and that meant that. So follow Clark, and the guy that plays Clark, he's a good actor. He was in 12 Years a Slave in 20 whenever that came out, 2012 or something. Yeah, 2012. He played in that. So he plays Clark, this guy who's running this very unsuccessful furniture store. This takes place in 1990, by the way. He's running his furniture store. He's divorced. He is an alcoholic, and he's currently seeing a therapist to talk about his issues with. So I'm going to be going back and forth here. So this movie was directed by a 20-year-old. I'm like, man, that's awesome. To be that young and to direct a movie that is in theaters. Um, but I'm probably going to come back to the director here in a minute. So he discovers the back rooms, which is basically you get you it's in the basement of the furniture store, right? And you get to it by this wall. You think it's a regular wall, but you can walk through it, right? You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of that Simpsons episode where they were kind of I think they were paired. It was supposed to be like the Poltergeist, because remember, like Lisa or Bart or somebody, um they went to another dimension or something. But anyway, that's what it reminded me of. So he gets in there and he sees this pile of furniture, which I, even after I finished watching it, I still don't understand the significance of that. But he gets his two workers, I believe they're a couple, to go in the back rooms with him. Now the girl really didn't want to go. She only went because her boyfriend went, right? And the boyfriend gets sucked into this crazy little, because like the back rooms are just a bunch of like endless doors, hallways. um you eventually get to rooms with themes, like you get to a pool room, with an actual pool, not like shooting pool, but a pool room. Then they had this Christmas room, which a lot of people I was talking to online and seeing other people's comments, they were saying it was really scary, which, yeah. So I'm guessing when you are in the back rooms, time is not how it is on the outside, right? And Clark actually ends up just chilling in there for a while, right? Because dude had it bad. He was living in the furniture store. Like, him and his wife got divorced. She kept the house, and he was sleeping in the on the bed that you supposed to be selling at the furniture store. So the his therapist plays a big role in this movie as well. He left a message on her phone and she couldn't find him. She goes to the store because she knows he works there, and there's this bunch of pile of mail like stuck under the door, which lets us at the audience know that it's been some time, right? So when she finds Clark, he's like, and this scene creeped me out because he ends up choking her, and I was like, okay, whoa, where is this going? He chokes her out till she's unconscious. She wakes up, she's tied up in this little kitchen looking area. There's this guy sitting at the table with like five sets of eyes. There's this guy in the corner by a lamp in a wheelchair. His face is jacked up too. And then there's this woman in the corner with like a suit, dress suit on. Her eyes and stuff is all messed up, and Clark's like, yeah. So he basically explains like, this place copies your memories. um Anyone that sets foot in the furniture store, stuff about that person like gets copied into the back rooms. And so we find out that, and I'm assuming because a lot of people are saying that lady that was in the suit is supposed to be like his wife. So before this happens, I actually thought they had like some kind of like creature, or when I say creature, I mean like alligator, or some kind of beast in there, because something was chasing people in there. And like I said, one of his employees got sucked down there in the beginning. And we see it's this big, tall Clark. Now Clark was dressed up as like a captain on his commercials, right? So his entity is what they're calling it. Is this 7'7" Captain Clark, and it looks kind of freaky. Like it's like this muffet face, like puppet. You know what I'm saying? Face, and I was like, "What is this? Like, what is going on?" And at that point, I it started to kind of click. So I'm like, okay, so his entity is tall and big because I guess he's been in there the longest. I'm assuming the longer you're in the back rooms, like the stronger your memories get, or something, or the copying or whatever. So there's a scene where we see, because the therapist, she kind of has her mom. Well, she grew up with a mom that was like schizophrenic or something, and I'm assuming that's probably why she got into being a therapist. But her memories, we see when she was a child, her childhood home, we see that being copied into the back room. So it's like anybody that sets foot there, your memories, the clothes you wear, all that. So when Clark and I'm gonna back up. So Clark and the therapist, they had a one of those role play sessions at her office earlier, right? So when he choked her out and tied her up, he's like, "Let's role play," and they did the same little thing again. But she finally, instead of doing the performative type of therapy, therapist, that's her job. She was speaking it real. She was like, "You're the problem. You this, that, that." And he's like, "Well, I don't want to change it." She's like, "Well, don't." So when the 7'7" Clark comes in, because he was attacking everybody but Clark. So when Clark was like, "Hey, she says we don't have to change. It's okay," he bit into his damn neck. And I was like, "Oh shit." So she's running from this Captain Clark Muffet puppet thing, right? And she ends up in this room. It's really freaky. This room where it was like a bottomless pit. So she had to go slowly up the stairs because she's like, the stairs are above this bottomless pit. Now, I have some questions because at the end, she runs into one of the rooms and she's runs into these people that have on like this hazmat stuff, right? And so they take her, and the guy's talking to her, this scientist or whatever. And one thing I didn't really ever get was, okay, were they in the back rooms too? Like, I didn't get it because he was talking as if they discovered the back rooms, not like they made it, but they discovered it. And so the last scene, which is really freaky, is we see, you know, how I was telling you, or if you've seen this already, how the other entities had like these, you know, 5 sets of eyes, real screwed up faces. Well, we see the therapist sitting at a table, kind of like the one she was sitting at when she was talking to the scientist, and she's all screwed up like an entity now. So I'm wondering, did she actually talk to the scientist for real? And is she trapped in the back room? Like, did she get out of the back rooms? Did they kill her because she knows too much? That's something I really, if you've seen this movie, get in the comments, man, and we need to talk about this because I'm kind of confused about that. Now, let's get into some trivial stuff. Now, this takes place in 1990, right? And I'm kind of a stickler for movies being correct when it comes to the decade. Now, listen, it takes about 3 to 4 years for the culture to change in a decade, right? When I mean culture, I'm talking about like fashion, you know, pretty much fashion. That's what I'm talking about. 1990 is pretty much the 80s. So the character, the one who is the girl, her hair looked more like 94 to like 99. That's what it reminded me of because I grew up in the 90s. I was a child, you know. Her hair needed more volume. You know, the 80s was all about volume, honey. It was all about big hair. And that's my only, and like I said, it's trivial. It's very not very important, but I feel like they should have, yeah, fluffed that out a little bit more or something. But anyways, I am curious to know what you guys think about this movie. As far as how I feel about it, I liked it. There were moments where I thought it was a tad bit slow, but I think when it comes to psychological horror, you're not going to get the jump scares like that. It's more of um, the plot building, a lot of building. You get what I'm trying to say. It's like, okay, we gotta build this story up, and then boom, boom, boom. Okay, you see this, you see that. So once I started to really get to, okay, Clark's in this back room. Okay, you know what I mean? So thank you so much. Shout out to my subs. Shout out to the rest of you who are not subscribed, but you know you can hit that button for me. I very much appreciate it. Trying to get to 1,000 by the end of this year. Let's see if we can do it, y'all. Peace and blessings to every last one of you watching. Until next time.